We have the metaphor of the tree known as equanimity, and also of the wandering deer. This is the mind. The mind can either turn to its own nature, which I refer to as the centre, or it can go wandering and get caught up in all its notions and belief about reality. And I call that off-centre. Vasishta continued, thus, having obtained rest, the deer mind delights itself there and does not seek to go elsewhere. The mind eventually stumbles upon its own essence. It stumbles upon what underpins it, which is pure awareness. Now, there could be a realization straight away of the nature of that awareness, or it might take some time. It's not always obvious, the revelation of our essential being. We're living with it all the time. So we tend to take it for granted. We tend to take our own awareness, our own consciousness for granted. We take it for granted so much that we continuously overlook it. So I've sometimes described the Yoga Vasishta as a course in awareness appreciation. It's about waking us up to the revelation of our own awareness. After some time, the tree known as meditation or Samadhi begins to yield its fruit, which is the revelation of the Supreme Self. The mind, dear, beholds that fruit above itself on the tree of meditation. And meditation isn't your usual thing here of practicing various techniques. Meditation is a turning away from all our concepts, our prejudices, our beliefs, our assumptions. It's a turning away from all of that to a realization of our true self, or simply the turning of the attention back onto itself. Thereupon it abandons all other pursuits and climbs that tree to taste its fruits. Having ascended that tree, the mind, dear, abandons the worldly thought patterns, and it does not contemplate the baser life again. Even as the snake sloughs off its skin, this mind, dear, abandons its previous habits so that it might ascend the tree of meditation. Whenever memory of its own past arises, it laughs aloud. How was it that I remained such a fool till now? Having discarded greed, etc., it rests on that tree like an emperor. This simile of the emperor has been used before. It's the feeling that there's nothing out there to be attained. We've transcended notions of ownership and realized the truest sense of the word, whereby we have everything. And so the feeling is like being an emperor. Day by day its cravings decrease. It does not avoid what it gets unsought, nor does it long for what it does not obtain effortlessly. It surrounds itself with the knowledge of the scriptures that deal with the infinite consciousness or the unconditioned being. This is like the Yoga Vasishta. We are reinforcing the tendency to remain in this awareness, or in awareness. It perceives inwardly its own past states of ignorance and laughs. It sees its own wife and children, etc., and laughs at them, as if they were either relatives in a previous lifespan or people seen in a dream. Again, we need to be careful what's being laughed at here. We're laughing at notions, the notions which provoked anxiety, paranoia, paranoid parenting in the family relationships. The anxiety that somehow we might want to make our children images of ourselves, anxiety about their behaviour and about lack of control. There's probably a lot could be said there. So I think it's laughing at all the negative, egoistic assumptions which having a family can induce. All the activities that are based on attachment and aversion, fear and vanity, pride and illusion, appear to it as if they were all play acting, and a lot of these things come within the family. Looking at the momentary experiences in this world, it laughs derisively, knowing that they are like the experiences of a madman. Being established in that extraordinary state, it, the mind dear, does not entertain any worry or anxiety concerning wife, children, etc. It beholds with an enlightened vision that which alone is in that which alone is. With its vision fully concentrated, it ascends the tree of Samadhi. It rejoices even in what it previously considered misfortunes. We are no longer creating a personal drama about everything that's going on. So everything that happens, happens, and it's dealt with accordingly, without making a huge drama about it. It engages itself in the necessary activities as if it had just been awakened for doing just that work, after which it returns to the state of meditation. And this is the attention again. The attention rests in itself. This is the state of meditation. But there are times the meditation has to come out. If you're talking to somebody, your attention is directed towards them. If you're doing something, washing the dishes, your attention is directed towards that. But even within these activities, there's always time, there's always room for the attention to return to itself. So it's a question of where the attention is resting. At first it can be quite uncomfortable for the attention to rest in itself. You might decide, well, I'm not doing anything, I'm not accomplishing anything, and all the rest of it. So the enlightened life is when the attention rests in itself naturally, but it will go out and attend to whatever needs attending to. And then when that's done, it will rest back in itself. After it's done something, it's not going to be kicking its heels, looking for some kind of distraction. But naturally, it seeks to be in the state of Samadhi all the time. It is totally free from ego sense, though because it is also breathing like others, it appears to be alive to the ego sense. Even in the case of such pleasures that seek it unsought, it entertains no zest. Its heart naturally turns away from all pleasure. It is full. It is asleep to worldly activities and pleasures. Who knows in what state it exists? It draws closer and closer to the supreme fruit of moksha, or liberation. Lastly, it abandons even the buddhi, or intellect, and enters into the unconditioned consciousness. I think the buddhi, or intellect, could be understood here as a cognitive process. It's what discriminates one aspect of the field of experiencing from another. But we're no longer involved with that. We've bypassed that.